on screen.
What about Gaetz?
Sonny, you have a legal note.
I do have a legal note. Thank you, Whoopi. Matt Gaetz.
At this particular event, what did your client witness?
She testified in July of 2017 at this house party. She was walking out to the pool area and she looked to her right and she saw Representative Gaetz having sex with her friend who was 17.
Both of your clients testified that they were paid by Representative Gaetz to have sex.
That's correct. The House was very clear about that and went through each. They essentially put the Venmo payments on the screen and asked about them. And my clients repeatedly testified, what was this payment for? Well, that was for sex. Approximately perhaps 10 times, 10 to 15 times, I think was the testimony about the number of times they might have had sex with Representative Gaetz.
How would you characterize these events?
So there were events that were more sex-oriented events, which was typically a small group of individuals, 5 or 10, and they got together to party, to have sex, essentially. And there were other events that took place at hotel rooms. There were, and have smaller meetups. There were events at different individuals' houses. So, there were trips.
Yes, when you take a look here, you can clearly see a question was posted today by a CNN reporter to Trump. He made it clear he's not changing his mind. Matt Gaetz will take that position. Now, the view Sonny Hostin is forced to issue a legal note. When you look through her face, you can clearly see she was not happy reading that. It is about Matt Gaetz. What they said, extremely concerning. On this video, we are going to take an exclusive look into all that. When you take a look at this tweet, this is beautiful. The view had to read a legal notice about the fake claims made against Matt Gaetz, or he would have sued them into. He is not even Attorney General yet, and they are already working on eggshells. You can see the panic going on and the reason these people don't want Matt to take over that position. Trump's decision picking this man and insisting that he will be the one is a decision he assumed that he is the only person that can take up this.
I've never really paid a lot of attention to Matt Gaetz, I'm going to be honest. I saw that he was somebody who wanted a lot of attention, and in general, I tend to ignore people like that. I don't like fueling that fire. I understood that people I like interacted with him a lot. People like Tucker, Trump obviously loved him. Fine. He wasn't exactly my cup of tea. I didn't have anything against him per se, but whatever. Not like, I'm just trying to tell you, I'm not some Matt Gaetz sycophant. But the New York Times Daily podcast today has made me a big fan, which I don't think was their intended effect. So the Times, with this reporter, Robert Draper, he's talking about how typically the Attorney General has been independent from the White House / president. And that's been a glorious thing. Now, he doesn't point out that JFK appointed his little brother, RFK, who was only 35 years old and had never tried a case, had not that much legal experience when he made him Attorney General, complete nepotism. And it was only about one thing, loyalty. And he wasn't the first to do that, nor the last. But anyway, this more modern or more recent trend of there'll be sort of this, not a Chinese wall, but more independence foisted on the DOJ when it comes to dealing with the White House is in exactly that. It's more of a recent trend. And there is a history in this country where it wasn't there. Not pointed out by the Daily. In any event, here's the New York Times setting that up.
The Attorney General has tended to be an office that operates more or less independently from the president. The Attorney General will often do things that might even offend the president, might even investigate members of the administration. So to pick someone like Matt Gaetz, who is an unflagging loyalist to Donald Trump, would seem to suggest that the DOJ will, under Trump's presidency, become completely co-opted.
Good. Great. We're off to a good start. I mean, he talks about how sometimes they'll investigate the sitting president. We know. That's why he's choosing Matt Gaetz. That's what's led people like me to say, I don't really care how incendiary he is. He seems like he might actually work there. He's like, oh my God, he'd be an unflagging loyalist. The DOJ might be become completely co-opted.
Yes, I'm glad that Megyn Kelly is now fully supporting Matt Gaetz due to how much his nomination has triggered the fake news media. When you look at the fake news media melting down about this guy, it should signal something to you. I have said this over and over. If you do something and these people are not after you or they are not triggered, no, you are doing a wrong thing. The view was not left out. They did segment upon segment, and after realizing that this thing can bounce back, Whoopi and others were there watching Sonny Hostin reading a legal note extremely concerning. When I go back into history, 2020, they issue around 20 legal notes. That should clearly tell you these people are insane. It is important. I show you that video. If you're not subscribed to this channel and you love what I'm doing here, the only thing to support me is to always share out the videos.
On screen. Sonny, you have a legal note.
I do have a legal note. Thank you, Whoopi. Matt Gaetz has long denied all allegations, calling the claims, quote, invented, and saying in a statement to ABC News that this false smear following a 3-year criminal investigation should be viewed with great skepticism, that DOJ investigation was closed with no charges being brought.
We'll be right back.
Matt Gaetz is a person of low moral character. This is widely known about him, and I'm kind of bullish he's not going to get through.
Yeah, you know, I think what we really need to think about is the position that he has been nominated for by this president elect. To be the Attorney General means that you're responsible for the Department of Justice. And the Department of Justice is one of the largest law enforcement agencies in the world. And it's very serious business. I mean, you have the Civil Rights Division, Antitrust Division, the Criminal Division, U.S. Attorney's Office.
Yes, to avoid copyright claim from ABC, because clips like this, especially the issue legal note, they always do that. Sonny Hostin talks a lot. She always claims every single time, I'm a legal person. Now, she said something on this video. They realized after that it can trigger a lawsuit. If you don't know, Matt Gaetz was free. The DOJ didn't find anything pertaining to what they are bringing back. Now, whatever phrase you are making, you need to be extremely careful. And that is where she touched. I don't want to play the video, or if you don't know, you can check maybe on X. You will watch what she actually put out. But it is important. I have shown you what exactly is going on. The View really deserves something like this, because they have spewed this over and others, and they always go free. It is high time people start taking legal actions.
I searched for a way to respond appropriately, and I called on my 10 years as a litigator in addition to my now 20 as a journalist, and I think I found the perfect phrase: go f*** yourselves.
So maybe they're not, but they voted for Kamala Harris.
But there was a split, and more of them voted for Donald Trump than had historically. I think that there's such a desire. If you really think the vast majority of this country voted because of racism and misogyny, you're missing it.
309, Tulsi Gabbard added to Donald Trump's cabinet. Also with a
theory that a lot of people seem to be coalescing around.
They were too woke, insisting that people use the term Latinx.
You have to say they. No, you have to do this.
Stop with the virtue signaling.
Step away from woke. Focus less on who is woke and more on who is broke.
I've never seen that.
I saw so many liberals getting super excited every time Kamala had a new celebrity endorsement. But we all know for a fact that these celebrity endorsements are not free.
Oh, is it true that they paid you $1 million for the endorsement for Kamala?
Not true.
Now it's time to unite everybody.
I want you to know what would change after doing this.
Comes out against Trump.
I don't care if they write that.
So, with that, I'm going to shake it off.
Figure out a way to say thank you.
That guy's name, he's such an absolute prick. I can't stand him. But anyway.
Hey there. Not doing great.
Terrible night last night. It was a terrible night.
What will the rest of us
you doing on day one?
Bishop Vigano, he says that
A lot of people were confused about why